My journey, I don't know, just heard Mr. Bala saying, I painted the sage as green because he sounds positive. So I've been called green warrior. That's something which, an engineer being called a green warrior, if you think yourself as, if you start imagining you're an engineer, I don't think you can, become something else other than that. First thing is become a generalist. That's how my education went. Not learning engineering, but one good thing that I would say is that in today's kind of setup we have too much of engineers who are polluting the environment. How many of you agree with me on this? Why do you think they're polluting the environment?
They're not taking care of the environment.
Okay, fine. See, one example I would say is, recently the Wipro MD was telling in the newspapers that Bangalore, you won't be able to live in Bangalore. We are only focusing on some places where we can make maximum money, or whatever knowledge we have, we actually focus in some small area like Bangalore, and then completely use up the resources and make sure that we don't have anything, or we don't want to give anything for the future. Again, not only engineers, everybody is part of that. So this is what is happening today. Today, the resources that we have, or we have to at least keep that for the future, is not there. So one of the important resource is water. So yeah. So water, as we, I've taken off the brand name, because today we believe the brand, not the quality or how much water that we have for future. We don't look at anything, just the brand. If I sell something with a name, today people are ready to buy. But there is a lot of things that today's world need to understand about water. So that's the area where I created a passion for it. So I had a journey where I got an opportunity to understand how it happens in our country, then happened to work in other countries, and then learned what we can do, or how you can influence people or make them understand the importance of water. So I started asking questions. Why is this happening? Today, you look at any city, you need to have, there are people who are building vertical, houses, drawing water. I say, a civil engineer makes a building, he has to draw water from here for serving the entire building. Say it's a 12 floors building, he has to serve water from here. And then what happens to the water that is generated from the building? It again goes back to the same land. If you treat it, it's again recharged. So these things, this is why I feel engineers are polluting. Today they don't know how to manage water. Civil engineers who can build beautiful buildings today should have, a plan for managing water. So how I started my career was as a project associate, where the project was funded by Ministry of Urban Development in developing Government of India guidelines for wastewater management. So this project actually focused on understanding what we can give as a solution for all the complaints or problems that you see behind me. Okay, this was an excellent learning for a person who had, who was thinking only about certain aspects of things. Like it was like giving me an opportunity to go to the ground, understand the problem. So this was actually an event which we planned for school students. So we wanted school students to come in. We didn't have kind of real planning. We just thought, okay, just bring in school students, let's see what they do. So we just had a couple of themes, and then the day actually turned out that we all kind of, it was a lot of energy. So that's when I realized that there is so many things we need to do now. Writing policy, then next step, maybe get a job somewhere, do this. So this is what that completely went off my head. When I saw this, people, the kids really painting things in green. This is the feeling that I got after this event. So this was an excellent opportunity for even today kids are just seeing things as an animation. I wanted to make that kind of really a feel for this, for people to see that. So this was an experience that I had. trying to figure out a zero net energy building. If you have a building, then how do you figure out different technologies and integrate into a zero energy building? So being a civil engineer, I thought, yes, it's an interesting thing, I'll do that, and then I went there. So it was a wonderful experience. I worked as a mason, I worked as an electrician, a plumber, everything. I mean, it was kind of getting a feel of a lot of things. And I also had an opportunity to be with a lot of passionate architects. I mean, I think architects are having a lot of vision, looking at how the future should be. So I got to spend a lot of time with them. So, and then next journey was, and then I realized, okay, if I need to learn and give a solution, I need to, explore. There's something more I need to learn. So I started applying to some of the best world's #1 water and wastewater companies. So this was my benchmark that I had kept when I started applying. So I got into a company which was the fastest growing water and wastewater company in Middle East. So this company gave me an opportunity to communicate to a lot of people, because this organization started in the year of 2000. So the way Dubai had grown as a country which did not have water to a country which reuses water, recycles water. So this was a learning that I got working with this organization. So this is one of the events where I participated. So so the company had kind of was working with the government and all that. So my role primarily here was to communicate to more people in saying that, boss, we are recycling water, we are reusing water. So people have started accepting this. Today, if we are all going happily to their country, is because they planned it, they had a clear strategy how to maintain this. So I also got an appreciation for doing this activity, and this actually created a kind of confidence in me that if I can communicate, if I can influence people on, yes, we can do it, and it doesn't happen in a day, but you need to figure out a way for achieving it. So this is what I learned from this experience. It's not just water. Today if I put something in this bottle of water, it becomes a wastewater. So if I drink this bottle of water, I throw it on some water source, wastewater. So we have to take that waste out of water. So this is what I learned from this thing. If you don't take the waste, manage the waste separately and water separately, then there's no, that's how we can approach a solution. So this was another kind of an eye-opener for me before I became an entrepreneur. So just before becoming an entrepreneur, I came in, I got a kind of hit on my head on what is reality. Passion is something which can take you a long way, but suddenly I was working in a company which was kind of losing people, not having business. So an entrepreneur, with passion you can do so many things, but without revenue coming in, you can't run a company. So first thing is, an entrepreneur, I had to understand and learn this. So I got an experience where a company which was going like this suddenly goes like this, because business is not there. You're losing your business in the country. So this was something which I experienced in my life. So where I've just had a before and after kind of photograph to have a benchmark on how I was. So when this was happening, the company was not able to pay me salaries. So 2 months of no salaries. Then I was like low self-esteem, so no confidence, and I was like dead. Then I was eating so much. So all your passion, everything goes off when you find you are hitting a wall. But I was fortunate enough that I was trying to go back to all the good things that has happened to me. An opportunity to be part of the guidelines of Government of India. Then figuring out that recycling. So I started going back and realizing what are the good things that has happened in my life. So that gave me confidence that if I can get things together, I can have confidence and stay focused, have high self-esteem. So what I did was I started meeting a lot of people. So one of the person who I met was the man who had converted Hawaii Islands as a complete sustainability island. That was an island which was importing 90% of his food items, water, everything from outside. So I asked him about how did you achieve it. So he was telling me about doing it takes time. The first thing you need to understand is, if you have to come up with a solution, it takes time. In short time you cannot achieve it. So there are a lot of solutions, so environmental engineering solutions that was brought in, and it was what is my company? I should not make a company which cannot sustain. I mean, it's not possible, but I should not make an organization where people just work there for, just as a work. I wanted to create something where, whenever they hit a roadblock, you need to figure out something innovative. So business is innovation and marketing. So this is something which I wanted to communicate to the entire team. So this is, I'm talking about me coming back here with no idea, no salaries, nothing, planning a company, and that's the state I was. But when I started talking to people about the experience, when I started telling them that we can do this, we can do that, first person to convince was my parents. So I told them that, I can do this. So I could convince my father first, then my mother, then they believed in what I was saying. So what is the innovation that we have been working on, what we are trying to do? So on the company. So we as a company started focusing on making people aware of water quality or water quantity. How much water do you have? How much water quality is there? So this is what we give as an innovative solution now. We have an Android app which can make people communicate data from the field of how, of water quality. Next is an innovative instrument which can communicate data to the cloud server, and we as a process engineer or engineers, we can come up with a correct solution. And third is a water quality testing kit which we can, you can buy it online or something like that, where everybody can know the water quality that you drink. So this is the focus that we have in our company. So today, just last week, we got a fund from Technology Development Board, which has actually given us a lot of confidence on what we are offering. And I think when I landed here, it was a lot of negativity, I would say. Nothing was looking green. When I go talk to people, people said, it will happen 2000 never. Varun, you can come back later. They don't pick up my phone. So this issue was happening. But I think for the last 1 year, there's enormous energy in people, and there is a lot of change that can happen. So I was fortunate to be part of a project, Smart Cities, 100 Smart Cities. All these funds and all this money is for Indian engineers to make some smart solutions. So that's the opportunity we have in our country now. Okay, this is again a selfie on a. This is just to tell you that if you don't act now, we all be here. Okay, thank you.